All right, 41 governors begging for stimulus cash, but not Sarah Palin and not my next guest. They're urging GOP senators to vote against the stimulus bill. Joining me now, Mississippi Governor Haley Barbour. Governor, good to have you. They seem to be heeding your advice and almost in lockstep. I say almost because a couple could be picked off. What do you make of that?
Well, look, everybody wants a stimulus package. Republican governors like me know we need a stimulus package. Republican senators know we need a stimulus package. But what we need is a good stimulus package. And what's been passed by the House is not good. Too little of it's for tax cuts, and way, way, way too little of it would stimulate the economy and create jobs. That's the issue, not whether we ought to have something, but what ought we to have.
All right, so what happens in the end, Governor, if they vote on this pretty much along party lines and you get the stimulus and they start parceling out a lot of dough to the states, including yours? Would you take it?
Well, look, first thing we're going to look at is what are the strings that are attached. This is an incredibly complicated bill, and I've been around a long time. There's more language in this bill that nobody's ever seen before than any bill I've ever heard of. But I'll give you an example of the problem we have here. Mississippi, under this bill, would be eligible for our unemployment insurance program to pick up $54 million from the federal government. They would raise the rate for people who are unemployed, extend the time period. The only thing that they don't tell you is we will only get 3.9 million of that 54 million automatically. To get the other 50+ million, we have to change our rules. We have to give unemployment benefits to people we've never given unemployment benefits before. Now, the question is, are we going to take that money and be told we can't change the rules when the federal money runs out, can't change the rules back? If so, that means an automatic tax increase for our employers. Now, if that stays in the program, I will resist our taking that. I'm not going to put a guaranteed tax increase on our employers so that we can cover people who won't work full time.
For Republicans, this is sort of like a defining moment, isn't it? But they've got to be careful, right, Governor, about looking like obstructionists, too. How do they avoid that?
Do what's right. I mean, look, I don't know if this is as defining a moment politically as Dick says. I got great respect for Dick's political judgment.
No, it's okay. He left the room. He left the room.
And we need to... Well, I have great respect for his political judgment. But what we need to do is be for what's right. And you've got these senators like George Voinovich, whom I admire, not nearly as conservative as I am, not a conservative really, from Ohio, a former governor, pragmatic, and it's been reported today that he has bailed out of these talks because he just says that they're not going to come up with a bill that he can vote for. Now, George Voinovich is not some right-winger, and he's from a state that really needs help. It just goes to show you how much is buried in this bill that's unacceptable to reasonable people.
But did you hear the Fox News alert about the water park? That's gone. Water park's gone. It's not happening. All right, $2 million.
Well, if we wait another 64 years, we'll be down to where we'll have an acceptable bill at $2 million a day.
All right, you swim a little bit at a time. All right, Governor, always good seeing you. Thank you.